Welcome back to the Laughing My Age Off podcast. We all know beauty sleep is real. Have you ever gotten less than 6 hours of sleep and woken up with bags under your eyes? I mean, we've all been there. But did you know that napping can actually slow down the aging process? If you are skipping rest, you might be speeding up wrinkles, memory loss, and even shortening your lifespan. Let's break down the science of why naps are the ultimate anti-aging hack.
Embark on a journey to defy time with LMAO, Laughing My Age Off podcast. I'm your host, Erica Kelly, and I started this show because, like you, I'm curious about the secrets to staying youthful as the years go by. Join me as we discover the secrets to slowing down the aging process, exploring expert insights, cutting-edge research, and personal experiences that uncover the art of aging gracefully. It's time to laugh, learn, and embrace a life full of vitality together.
Welcome back to the Laughing My Age Off podcast. In today's episode, we're going to talk about my favorite topic, napping. All right. And there are many things we're going to talk about today. All right. You ready for this? 5 different segments here. Number 1, the anti-aging benefits of napping. 2, what actually happens to your body when you nap, more so your brain. 3, some best practices for the best nap ever. All right. Number 4, did you know there's different types of napping? Yes, we're going to talk about 5 different ways you can nap. Okay. And number 5, we're going to talk about some unique ways to nap. All right. So if you're someone that works during the day and maybe you're in an office, we're going to talk about that. There's something for everybody today. All right, so let's get right into it, starting off with some of those anti-aging benefits. So naps do 4 things to really slow down the aging process, okay? They lower your cortisol, all right? Cortisol is the aging hormone, all right? We've talked about that a lot in our past episodes because just a quick reminder, when you're stressed, your body pumps out this hormone, cortisol. And of course, we're always going to have some of it, but too much of it is where you begin to increase inflammation in the body. So that's why cortisol has a bad connotation to it, okay? So when you have too much cortisol, it does a lot of things, right? It actually breaks down your collagen. So, collagen is, right? It's that protein that keeps your skin nice and plump and smooth. And I know when I take naps, which I love to nap, I did one, I usually been doing them on the weekend because during the week I go so hard that I personally feel like I just crash during the weekend. And that's probably not healthy, but I know I have more time. So when I wake up from a nap, my skin just looks so good. Like I slept for 8 hours, even though I'm doing at least an hour. So number 1, it lowers your cortisol and it really plumps up the skin when you take that little boost in your day to take a nap. Okay. So of course, if we have chronic high cortisol in our body, it's going to increase wrinkles, sagging skin, and it's going to give you that tired looking face. Do you ever have anybody that says, wow, you look tired? I mean, I can't stand when people say that, right? It's like, oh, you're telling me I look like beep, you're right. So take a nap. If anybody ever says that to you, take a nap, all right? So even a short nap can actually lower your stress hormones and keep your skin glowing longer, all right? Number 2, naps actually boost your growth hormone, that HGH hormone, all right? And that is one of the elixirs of youth, right? So during deep sleep, your body releases the HGH hormone, which helps repair skin cells, builds muscle, and keeps your metabolism active. So skipping sleep lowers your HGH levels. So, of course, we talked about it ages your skin faster, but did you know a 90-minute nap can give you a mini HGH boost? Okay, so 90 minutes here, that's the key if you want to boost that HGH hormone. All right, number 3, naps reduce inflammation. That's the key to longevity, right? Anything that is going to create inflammation in your body is going to age you faster. So Chronic inflammation speeds up the aging process and increases your chances of diseases, right? It's a no-brainer that stress can support diseases like Alzheimer's, heart disease, you name it. I mean, any disease can really stem from too much stress in the body. And sleep deprivation. All right, let's just take a pause here and talk about the last time maybe you didn't get enough sleep. We all know it just, you don't feel like yourself. I know I get more emotional when I don't get enough sleep. It's just, it's an emotional roller coaster. And of course, you can't function. I mean, talk about your brain just shutting off, right? And forget about physical strength, right? It just impacts everything. So, studies show that naps can reduce inflammation levels and helps us stay younger longer. All right? And number 4, we're going to talk about how sleeping, particularly napping, all right? We're talking about napping today. We all know sleep is so important to our health. Did you know, according to a study published by Sleep Health, they found that habitual nappers had, ready for this? Put down your coffee, put down your water. They found that habitual nappers had larger brain volumes, all right, suggesting that napping could slow brain shrinkage. Napping could slow brain shrinkage associated with aging. So it's like giving your brain a mini spa day, you know? So I find that fascinating that it literally changes and supports, a larger brain. We could all use a larger brain, especially as we age. Am I right? Moving on. So, what happens when you nap? I know I just feel so good after I nap, right? These are like magical little breaks that make you feel like a whole new person. And have you ever wondered what actually happens in your brain and your body while you nap? Well, let's break it down for you here. Okay. So, number 1, your brain actually hits, all right, the refresh button. So, if you ever, maybe you work in an office, maybe you work with kids, do you ever feel like you just need a refresh? This is a way to do it, all right, naturally. Okay. So, when you nap, your brain cleans up all the extra clutter, kind of like when you close a bunch of apps on your phone. You ever have all your apps open on your phone or even on your computer when you're working? You've got all these pages open. That's pretty much what's happening. And then when you close it down for the day, that's essentially what's happening in your brain. So that's a great visual for you to understand. All right. So your brain organizes information, it clears out useless stuff, and it helps you remember things a lot better. That's why a short nap can actually make you ready smarter. We can all use a little boost of smartness, right? So the brain hits the refresh button. Number 2, your energy gets a power boost. So when do you feel the most sleepy, right? In the afternoon, right? That's typically when people want that extra caffeine hit. And that's because your body naturally slows down around 2 to 3 p.m. I know that's when I usually hit a little wall there, right? Think about that during your day, all right? Look at the clock the next time you feel like you're having a little dip. If it's 2 to 3 p.m., that is natural. So, a quick nap recharges your battery so you don't feel like a zombie for the rest of the day. So, even 10 to 20 minutes can give you more energy than an extra cup of coffee. So, minimum 10 minutes here, okay? So, number 3, your body and your muscles have some time to relax. So, during a nap, your body, of course, takes a break and your heart rate slows down. And so, what happens when your heart rate slows down is that your muscles get to chill out, okay? This, of course, is going to reduce stress and can even lower your blood pressure, which, of course, we know is great for our health. And number 4, let's talk about our mood. Have you ever met a cranky toddler because they haven't slept? Well, you know what? That doesn't leave us as we get older, right? If you don't get enough sleep, our moods tend to be very just sensitive, to people, to situations, right? Sometimes people are like, I'm so sorry. I was tired. I didn't mean it. So your mood will get a makeover. So napping helps reset your emotions so you will feel happier, calmer, and less grumpy. Scientists say that naps can help with anxiety and stress. So if you're one of those people listening who deals with a lot of anxiety, go ahead and make sure you put naps somewhere in your schedule because that's going to help reduce some of that anxiety throughout your day. Okay, so talking about some best napping practices. Before you set your alarm for a 3 hour siesta, let's talk about really how long is a good nap. Okay. So we mentioned earlier, some people say 10 to 20 minutes, but I want to talk about some more science here. Okay. Some more research. Dr. Thomas, from the director of the Institute of Sleep Medicine at Northwest Staten Island, recommends keeping naps 20 to 30 minutes. Okay. So this is what this doctor's saying. This duration helps you avoid sleep inertia, that groggy feeling you get when you wake up from a deep sleep. Okay. I don't know. I've been taking, sometimes my naps are longer than 20, 30 minutes. I don't know about you, but sometimes our body needs that. But he suggests that a power nap can recharge you without turning into a zombie. All right. So, and I wanted to bring in some fun facts here. What famous people, even from the old times, have taken naps to really support their lives, maybe their careers. All right. So here's some fun facts for you. Did you know that Thomas Edison had a trick where he would hold a steel ball while napping so that when he relaxed into sleep, the ball would fall and it would wake him up? So he did that to spark some innovative ideas. So it's like the original eureka moment alarm clock. So can you imagine holding on to something and just waiting for yourself to fall into that deep sleep where you let go of something? That's pretty interesting to me. All right. And I know Einstein did that too. I remember Einstein did that to really get those genius ideas. All right. You know who else did this? Taking short naps? Leonardo da Vinci. He was a Renaissance artist and inventor. He practiced a interesting sleep schedule. He took short naps every 4 hours instead of a long night's sleep. So he used this approach to maintain high levels of creativity and productivity. Okay, we've got one more person for you. John F. Kennedy. He was the 35th president, as you know, and he maintained a routine of afternoon naps. He would often retreat to his private quarters for a rest after lunch to rejuvenate for the remainder of the day. So, I mean, I can imagine being a president with all of those, responsibilities and, the burdens of really the United States on your shoulders. I would be taking some naps too. Okay. But napping, of course, isn't just for people like John F. Kennedy, right? We know that afternoon naps have been shown to boost cognitive function for older adults, right? There's a study here from the General Psychiatry that looked at over 2,000 healthy individuals, right, aged 60 and above. And they found that those who napped had better cognitive performance. So think about napping like a brain tune-up, okay? So it's like a tune-up you do for your car. Same goes for your brain. Hey, laughing my age off listeners, I want to let you know I just wrapped up my third round of the 5-day fast mimicking diet, and I want to extend an invitation for you for this April 6th through the 10th. We are having a free 5-day fast mimicking group, okay? This comes with incredible benefits like losing weight, gaining energy, experiencing autophagy, and more. So if you want to join us, spots are limited, so sign up now. The link is in the show notes, and we'll talk to you soon.
Listen up. The prolonged fast mimicking diet. This isn't just another diet, this is science. And what makes prolonged different from any other fast is that your body thinks it's fasting, but you still get to enjoy rich food. And unlike traditional fasting, you won't lose muscle, just the extra weight. Prolong is a 5-day plan based on 20 years and over $36 million in research and development. Experience 5 life-changing benefits, including effective weight loss, boosted energy, cellular rejuvenation, improved metabolic health, and better control over your cravings. All this while nourishing your body. And get excited because we have a 20% off promo code using Erica20. Just visit the link below and we'll see you soon.
Okay, so let's segment these naps into different buckets here, because I feel like if you just have some options to choose from and know what you're going to get from each length of nap, I think that might help you understand where you can fit these into your schedule. Okay, so starting with the minimum here, the 10 to 20 minute nap. So think of that duration as quick energy boost, right? No grogginess, 10 to 20 minutes. All right, I think that's doable throughout the day, especially if you work from home. And don't worry, for those of you who work in an office or if you're a teacher, I'm going to give you some tips later on. So stay tuned. Okay, next level of length of naps. All right, so we said 10 to 20, then we're moving on to 30-minute naps. This enhances your memory, but you may feel a smidge of grogginess. All right, not too much. All right, 30 minutes. I like that one because I like the brain memory boost there. All right, are you ready? 60 minutes. This is usually up my alley, especially on the weekends. At 2 o'clock, I'm like, I go upstairs and I take a nap. Okay. So 60 minutes. This is great for learning new skills, but waking up can be a little rough. All right. And then your next level of naps, okay, is 90 minutes. This is a full sleep cycle. It boosts creativity and problem solving. Like I said, I usually fall between the 60, 90-minute naps just because I love sleep. I do. I really do love sleep. But there you go. You've got those 4 different lengths of time, and see where you need the most benefits there and see if you can fit it in. Now, let's talk about the best time to nap, right? They suggest to aim between 1 and 3 p.m. All right. And that's usually just the natural cycle of where we feel we need the naps, right? That's when our energy dips the most. They do claim that you should avoid naps after 4 p.m. because obviously that can disrupt your nighttime sleep. All right. You're going to just be not able to go back to your regular sleep time. So here are some other tips. How can you nap like a professional napper? Okay. You can darken the room. I love this tip. I use this tip. I mean, I go into my bedroom, I close the door, I close the shades, and that's really what you need to really, you know, shut it down, if you will, right? Using white noise. I love white noise. I use rain. I just put it on my phone. I have this nice phone app. I forgot what it's called, but you know what? I think most people do sleep with white noise. Maybe it's a fan. And so those are the 2 that I use for tips to get the best nap. And you know what else is making sure your electronics are on mute. All right. Unless you do have to wake up, for a meeting or something, put your alarm clock on. But I take even my Apple Watch off. I actually have it off right now, but I take it off because I remember I was taking naps and then all of a sudden it would jolt my wrist and I was like, oh no. That just totally ruined my entire nap. So make sure your electronics are off or on mute, okay? All right, let's move on to 5 different types of naps. All right, we talked about the length of time that you can nap, so that's one way to look at it. But I'm really curious to hear from you, and if you wouldn't mind leaving a review after you listen to this, let me know which napping is most surprising to you, okay? So number 1 is, are you ready for this? The NASA nap. Okay, so in 1995, yes, NASA conducted a study to explore the benefits of short naps for pilots and astronauts. And, of course, that job is really demanding. So this makes a lot of sense why they would try to give these professions a way to nap without having to sleep for 6 hours. Okay. So this research revealed that a 26, very interesting, right? Not 25, not 23, 26-minute nap could enhance your performance by 34% and boost alertness by 54%. Okay. I'm going to say that again. A 26-minute nap can enhance your performance by 34% and boost your alertness by 54%. These findings have since been popularized by the concept of the NASA nap. So, have you ever heard of this nap? Okay. This emphasizes the value of brief rest periods in maintaining cognitive function and operational efficiency. Okay, are you ready for nap number 2? This one made me laugh. Okay. This is called the chair nap. Yes, sounds like just what it is. You sleep in a chair. Okay. If you don't want to fall into a deep sleep, sitting upright in a chair is great for this, right? These are great for power naps. This is good for like that 10 to 20-minute nap. Okay. And it's funny because years ago when I was pregnant, I had to sleep in a chair. I think most women do who are pregnant. And I remember I could barely sleep. Okay. So who knew that these are great for short naps? And that's basically what I did. I would sleep in like little segments of time. Okay. So number 3 is we call it the Einstein nap. All right. We kind of gave you an idea of what this was earlier. You want to hold on to something, in this case, like in Einstein, I guess maybe he held a spoon or a key. I can't remember what he held. But in this case, that's a good way to do it because a spoon or key is metal and it'll make a profound sound once it drops to the floor. Okay. So as soon as it drops, you will wake up, and that's when Einstein had the perfect creative moment. All right, this is right before you fall into a deep sleep. So get something that's going to make a lot of noise but won't break. Okay, don't be holding some glass, it's going to shatter all over the place. All right, moving on to number 4. Okay, we talked about the NASA nap, but now we're going to talk about the 8-minute Navy SEAL nap. Okay, so how does this work? You lay on the floor with your legs elevated at a 90-degree level. So this is a very short nap, right? This is less than 10 minutes. So I guess you can sleep for 8 minutes. I can see why this has been used, right, for the military. So it's a quick resting technique popularized by a retired Navy SEAL. His name, Jocko Willenick. Okay, this method involves lying down with your legs elevated above your heart and just set your alarm for 8 minutes. And ta-da, you will have a little bit of a supercharge after this. I definitely can see how this would work for the military when they don't have much time to sleep. Okay, coming up to our final nap. This one is awesome, and I think I'm going to try it. Okay. It's called the coffee nap. The coffee nap. And so, how does this work? Right? It sounds a little confusing. All right. So, what you do is you drink coffee, and and since caffeine takes 20 minutes to kick in, guess how long the nap is? 20 minutes. So that way, when you wake up, you're going to be extra alert. And you know what? This nap is actually popular with pilots, doctors, and many other professions because those professions tend to be really big workaholics. Okay, I promise those of you who are like, there's no way I can nap during the day, I totally can't relate to this. Okay. I hear you. I hear you. Okay. So if you're in an office or if you're in a setting where you just can't nap, I have some ideas for you. Okay. Number 1, if you're a Seinfeld fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You can pull a George Costanza. Okay. So those of you who have not seen this episode, you can go YouTube it. It's pretty funny. And this is kind of a joke, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe you have a really great office and you can lock it, or, you know, In this particular episode, George Costanza, he converts his under desk space into a napping area, right? So he had like an alarm clock and even had a shelf for snacks. It makes me want to just relive this episode and watch it, okay? So if you can't pull a George Costanza though, okay, this is just to give you an idea what you can do in your office. Lean back in your chair, okay? So forget going underneath your desk, okay? Lean back in your chair and close your eyes for 5 minutes. The other hack, and I've done this before too, is if you have your own car, go into your car. All right. Go into the back seat. I've done this before. Take a nap in the back and hopefully you have tinted windows. Just, no one's going to see you anyway in the back seat. And so the other one, if you can find a quiet conference room and maybe you could just sit back in your chair, close your eyes, that's an option too. So number two. So that was one if you're in the office, specifically in the office, right? But you can also do this one, all right? Meditation, a 5-minute meditation really mimics the effects of a good sleep. So you want to close your eyes, breathe deeply, and focus on your breath for just 5 minutes. Studies show this can lower stress, refresh your mind, and boost alertness. So it's basically having a nap without closing your eyes. Studies show this can lower your stress, refresh your mind, and boost alertness. All right. This is basically like taking a nap. Okay. And we've had a meditation episode, but you can find, also a 5-minute meditation on YouTube. That's also something to consider. And, the other one is the 2-minute desk reset. So if you really can't take a good nap, close your eyes for just 2 minutes. 2 minutes, stretch your arms and roll your shoulders to release some of that tension and look away from your screens, put away the technology for 2 minutes. That's the key here because after a while, if you're in the office space, all those electronics can really drain a person. So even a micro break can reduce some of that burnout and fatigue that you might be experiencing. Okay, so I just want to share a few things about napping around the world that I was able to find. So, did you know in Spain, all right, you've heard the siesta time, right? So, many shops close for afternoon naps, all right? That is what I'm talking about. Let's just take a nap, everybody. All right, in Japan, napping in public is a sign of hard work. In Italy, it is known to have naps after lunch. I can totally see that because some people, after they eat, they get really tired, right? And then the last one I have is China. Students and office workers take desk naps daily. All right. That is amazing. Students definitely need naps, right? So I wish we had that when I was going to school. I don't think we have that in the US either yet. So let's go ahead and just wrap this up as a quick summary for some tips for ultimate napping. So there are different ways to nap. All right. We talked about the 5 key ways to nap, but also the duration of naps. Aim for at least 8 minutes, right? Starting with the Navy SEAL nap. Okay. You can do up to 30. You can even do up to 90 if your schedule allows. So the optimal timing is between 1 and 3 p.m. You want to make sure you have a restful environment if you can, right? And make sure that your electronics are muted, okay? So, and if you can't have a real nap, if you're not in a space that you can do that, there are some of those other hacks like a 5-minute meditation or just closing your eyes for 2 minutes with some deep breathing. So that wraps up our episode. Please let me know which nap is your favorite by leaving a review, and we will talk to you soon.